Hey guys, it's a steaming pile of ship here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the new Tier 10 premium, the Tier 10 Soviet destroyer, Grozovoi. But before I get into that, I do want to apologize for not uploading last weekend. This week has been my spring break, and basically by the time I got the video done for last weekend, I realized I didn't have a way to upload it, so I didn't have any internet where I was at. So unfortunately, there won't be a video from that. But to make it up, I will be putting a second Grozovoi video up that I'm not going to have any commentary with, but you'll be able to see the ship in a little bit more action. I might also put a Imperator Nikolai video, again with no commentary. It was a really funny match, I thought, because it basically does a very good job of showing how powerful it is in a very short amount of time. And it was quite the ironic match. But back to the Grozovoi now that that's out of the way. Oh, there's so many things to talk about this ship, and not many of them are good. I think Wargaming introduced this ship legitimately to make Z-52 look good, because while I enjoy the Z-52, I can't say that it's a good ship. This ship is worse in so many ways. For starters, your concealment is bad. You'll notice I'm getting spotted already, and I just inched into the cap. I'm using, what is it, target priority or priority target, because I don't want to, basically I want to know when people are all aiming at me. And yeah. Yep, look at that. 2 hits from that Yamato and we're already down by, what is that, 7,000 health or so? This ship is a fairly large target. It's not very maneuverable. It's spotted quicker than everything but the Khabarovsk, as far as I know. And you don't have any range. Now, it is kind of fast. It's fast compared to all the other ships out there, but the Khabarovsk. But, yeah. This is basically, the way to describe this ship would be a worse Khabarovsk, but with defensive AA. That is marginally useful. I don't know if you guys saw any of the work in progress videos that some of the community contributors were putting up, but the AA in those videos was amazing, and I think if they'd have left it that way, this ship would be a viable thing, because it would be an anti-air destroyer, you know? It's terrible now. I think the gearing has only, like, maybe 10 points of, if you look at the AA in port, I think you have maybe 10 more points on the Grozovoi than you would on a gearing. We got to move now because there's someone radaring us. Looks like a Des Moines. Yes, the Des Moines was radaring us. Again, this thing takes so much damage. We all know how the Z-52 takes more AP damage, because apparently that's like the German thing, is to take more AP for some weird reason. I feel like sturdier in a Z-52 than I do in a Grozovoi. It's sad. It really is. Whatever's spotting us is still keeping us spotted, and we're on fire twice, so let's put that out. Thankfully, we're unspotted now. That way we won't get set on fire again. Oh, take a look at how bad these torpedo arcs, too. Like, just, yeah. Look how, those are terrible. Those are terrible. Another comparison to the Z-52, I might have started getting into this, but the range on the thing. The gun range on this ship is like 12.4. I want to say the stock range on the Z-52 is like 12.3. So this thing has AFT, the Grozovoi, and it can't mount the range module, which sucks because you can't fix this. If you had the opportunity to mount that, this ship would probably be a decent ship, but because you can't, you're stuck with this terrible range of 12.4, and it's terrible. The Z-52, however, can mount both AFT, because that's a captain skill, obviously, and the actual equipment for it. So you can get the range on the Z-52 to a very godly sort of level for a destroyer anyways. At this point, I probably shouldn't have opened up on the Des Moines, but I really didn't expect to live here, and I was kind of PO'd about the way the match was going, so I was like, well, let's just go ahead and fire on him. speaking of fires, we get a fire. He knocks out my rear turret temporarily. That's not fun. Can we escape? See, the thing about this ship is it's kind of like a Khabarovsk, but bad in every single way. The only thing you have better is your AA is marginally better because you have the defensive AA, and your concealment is better. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter to a Khabarovsk because, well, you're Khabarovsk. Concealment doesn't matter. Anyway, anymore, people are using the heal on it, which negates your smoke, so you're pretty much always firing the guns. And concealment just, it's like, oh, we're going to make a more versatile destroyer, and yet I feel weaker in almost every aspect when I use this ship. I feel like they, again, had they kept the AA really nice, almost overpowered, like borderline overpowered, this ship would be a pretty decent ship, I think. Enemy Yugumo, we're going to take some pot shots at him. You do have pretty decent shell arcs, but because you have such short range, it's kind of a moot point. I mean, he's not... I'm having about as much trouble as he is landing shells on me, so yeah. Ooh, Shimakaze here. Let's get some revenge on him from spotting me this entire match. But it seems to be sort of a theme that this thing is just bad in every way, and I hope that doesn't become a theme with all new ships. I mean, I'd rather have a bad ship and then they have it buff it so that it's good rather than an overpowered ship, and then have him nerf it so it's not as good. But come on, I mean, realistically, come on Wargaming, do a little bit better job balancing these things before they get put out here. Because there really is no reason anybody should want to play this ship. Ironically, when this thing was being tested, it had an advantage over the Khabarovsk. You had one less turret, but you had better HE damage. Well, they decided to buff the Khabarovsk, and I think the other Soviet destroyers as well, so that the HE damage was on par with them. So now you don't even have that advantage. And I think, we'll look in port, but I'm pretty sure you actually do 100 less damage per shell now, because I think they do 1900 and you might do 1800 on this ship. We'll look in port though again. But yeah. I was talking about concealment earlier, and I didn't really get into why my concealment is worse than it could be. I'm not using the concealment captain skill, I'm just using the module for it. And the reason behind that is, I was running it with that, but unfortunately, this ship is so... It needs BFT and it needs other 3-point skills. And if you use 4 points to get the concealment perk, you lose out on a lot of offensive power. So I actually have, I think, the same loadout as I do on my Khabarovsk on this ship, which really goes to show you that why use this ship when you're going to be doing the same type of thing as you would in a Khabarovsk? I don't know. This ship just makes me shake my head, you know? I'd love to be able to, like I like taking, again, the ships that are really, people think they're bad, and I like trying to make them work. Like the Krispy Kreme is one of my favorite ships out there because it provides you with a challenge. But the thing about the Krispy Kreme is, it provides you with a challenge, but you can actually do really well in the Krispy Kreme. This thing, it's so bad. Like, I don't know. This thing just doesn't feel like it should even be, like, I don't feel like this ship should have made it into the game, I guess. It has me at a loss for words, as you can tell. A bit of a replay bug, I was aiming for the turrets with those torpedoes, although I think it was locked on to the Yamato over there, or the Montana, one of those. Bringing it to the torpedoes again, the shell, or the arcs are worse for firing these things, but what's even more of an embarrassment is the reload is longer. Yeah, they're faster in the water. They do, I want to say a little bit less damage. I'm not quite sure. But really, you can't even, you're better off making a torpedo boat out of the Khabarovsk, because it can reload the torpedoes quicker. You'll see I activated defensive AA, and I didn't even get the plane kill on that right there. It was the Fletcher or the Kurfürst right there. That was a scout plane, so the AA really is not good anymore. Trying to finish off this Montana. You do retain stellinium shells, as everybody calls them, because you are a Soviet destroyer. But so does the Khabarovsk, right? I don't know. This ship really just... I wanted to have a really great game to show to you guys, and the best game is this one. And I'm pretty sad about that, because I don't really consider this game to be the best game. Let's try and set this guy on fire here. One of the things... I should point out, this ship, or this game, I've probably set more fires in it than I've set in this ship ever. I got really, really lucky with RNG this game. You're going to see here pretty soon, I think, that I get the Witherer medal. And ironically, it's been the first Wither I've gotten in a very long time. I guess because I've been playing so much ranked. Yeah, there it goes. But getting fires like this has not been something that I have gotten used to. This ship is so bad for starting fires. For one, you have the same reload speed as the Khabarovsk, and you do have the same fire chance, but the Khabarovsk has one extra turret, and that really goes a long way, firing more torpedoes at the turrets here. It goes a long way for making the ship give you more DPM than you get in this in the Grozovoi, because you have the extra turret giving you extra. I mean, you basically get in this ship you have 3/4 of the firepower of a Khabarovsk, and yet you have less range, you have less speed. You probably have more maneuverability, but it certainly doesn't feel that way. I feel like the acceleration is better on the Khabarovsk. And we killed the turrets. And again, to add insult to injury, your AA got nerfed, so it's not really that useful anymore. And your torpedoes reload quicker on the Khabarovsk, so yeah. Now I was going to stop here and try and fire on that Yamato there, but unfortunately I don't have my smoke up, and I thought I was close enough to that smoke that I wouldn't be spotted, but I'm not. So we're going to try and zoom over to it. But this ship just, it's so underwhelming. It's so underwhelmingly bad that the only thing I can say is good about it is it looks really good. I think the permanent camouflage looks really great on this ship, and I'll show you in port, but honestly that's like the only good thing about this ship in my opinion. We'll go ahead and skip to the scorecard, because quite honestly this train wreck of a replay, I don't really want to watch any more of it, and I don't think you guys do either. So we'll go ahead and skip to the score. So a pretty underwhelming game. I really didn't feel like when I looked back, because I think I left the game earlier before it ended in the actual replay. When I looked at this, I was like, did we really win that? It didn't feel like a good victory. You know, I felt like very underwhelmed by this, and this was the best game I've had in this ship too, so that tells you a lot about it. You know, this is a lot like an average game in the Khabarovsk, or maybe a little bit above average, but still 156,000 damage for the, you know, highest damage game I've ever done. It just feels pathetic. It seems pathetic. Landed 4 torpedoes. We assisted in the capture of one, so I guess that's a little important. We finally did capture B, and we destroyed 1 ship. We were surprisingly top of the team. Again, surprisingly, we got that Witherer. I don't know how I got that. I don't know if teammates were setting everybody else on fire, and then I would get them after they repaired, but don't expect Witherers in this ship hardly at all. I don't know. This ship is so bad. 1,879 base experience, and let's go to the next screen. Surprisingly, again, 80,000 was done by fires and floodings, and about equal. We did 39,000 with the main battery and 36,000 with the torpedoes, so the main battery and the torps did about the same amount of damage, but I don't know, this yeah, I just felt so. I felt really useless this game, you know? I don't know. And finally, without the modifiers we had, we would have probably gotten about 180,000 silver, but I do have the permanent camo, which honestly I would not have got had it not looked really awesome when I was outfitting this ship. I probably wouldn't have got it had I waited a game to play it because this ship is just so bad. It doesn't feel worth it at all. And I'm the kind of guy that will generally defend throwing random money at useless things, but no. Terrible idea. Yeah. Let's go to the build. Alright, so here we are in port, and I will stress that I don't really have a recommended build for this ship, simply because I don't recommend this ship, but let's go ahead and get started on what I have on it, at least. Kind of annoyingly, you have to actually research the torpedoes that have 10-kilometer range. It's like 30,000 experience, and then maybe 2 or 3 million silver for the purchase of these things. That's kind of a little kick in the face. Oh, before I get into that though, let's go ahead and the main battery, 1800 damage on here with 3 twin turrets. Go to the Khabarovsk, 1900 damage with 4 twin turrets. So another little kick in the face for you. And if we go by the cost of the upgrade on Khabarovsk torpedoes, it's probably about the same as this 2.2 million here. Consumables, definitely Damage Control Party 2 Premium, and Smoke Generator would be the next one. This ship is just... I don't ever feel safe firing from open water with this, so get the Smoke Premium as well. There's so many problems with this ship that you need all the help you can get, and having Premium Smoke is going to at least be a little bit of a help for you. You probably don't really need defensive fire to be for you know, you probably don't need this premium, but I don't know. I'm swimming in credits up here, so I figure why not. Upgrade wise, main armaments mod 1. You saw me losing turrets left and right this match. You don't want to know how bad it is without this. I tried it with the AA guns earlier, just for kicks and giggles. But yeah. AA Guns Mod 2 you're going to probably want for the second slot here to give you a little bit more range on your AA guns. It's going to help you get your fighter scatter a little bit. I mean, again, you do have fighter scatter here, basically. That's about all this defensive fire is really good for, is helping your team scatter bombers, not fighters, excuse me. Main battery mod 3, get your DPM a little bit better than the atrocious DPM that it is. Propulsion mod 1, you're going to want that to keep your engine working a little bit of the time. Again, you saw me lose it quite a bit. Propulsion mod 2 here, it's going to help you increase speed a lot quicker. You already, surprisingly, one of the only good things about the ship is the rudder shift. Although 720 meters on a turning radius. Let's go look at the Khabarovsk real quick. 760. So, yeah. Not really a huge advantage in maneuverability like they basically were saying it was going to be. And finally, Concealment System Mod 1 for the 6th upgrade. Now again, I don't really recommend this ship, so I don't quite have a recommended build, but this is what I've been using. If I were to change anything, I would start off in this first slot here. I would just straight up get preventative maintenance, and that's because you're probably going to be shot at by anybody who sees you, simply because they know how bad the ship is. So it's like, hey, free points. So get preventative maintenance and just expect everyone is prioritizing you. Second row, last stand, pretty self-explanatory for a destroyer. Third row, first off, I would get basics firing training, and then I'd get advanced firing training in row number 4. And after I've got AFT, because it's pretty much mandatory, you're going to probably want to go for demolition expert, then survivability expert, and then finally superintendent. Or you could probably switch the order of superintendent and survivability expert, but those would be the last two. I don't know. This ship is so underwhelming, you guys. I honestly don't know what to say about it. It just... I want to love it. I mean, it looks really good. Let's be honest here. I love how the ship looks, but right now this thing is really only a really good looking port queen. It's so bad to actually use the thing, so yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed watching this review of the ship more than I have enjoyed reviewing the ship, because this thing is just a piece of trash. I will go ahead and upload that second video of the Grozovoi, probably right around the time that I upload this one. Excuse me there, English. So you can expect another video. It's not going to have commentary, but you'll get a little bit of a glimpse of how this ship underperforms from a different battle. I hope you guys have a good day. I will catch you in the next one. Well, I won't catch you in the very next one, but the very next one, or the next one with commentary, I should say. So you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you, quote unquote, next time.